This is Jocko Podcast number 134 with Echo Charles and me, Jocko Willink. Good evening, Echo.
Good evening.
Maybe I was always in the wrong place at the wrong time. I can see where someone could get that idea. But I actually don't think that. I don't think that at all. It's in fact quite the opposite. Now, looking back, of course, there were some tough times. There were some awful times. I'd even go so far as to say there were some wretched times. There were nights filled with discomfort and stress and fear, and there was pressure. And sometimes that pressure was so great that I thought my mind just might fracture and break apart. But fortunately, I could tell you that I didn't break. There were times when I saw the cracks. I saw the cracks starting to split open, and I had to work hard to keep it together. But that's the way it was in my old line of work. My old line of work had some definite downsides. Because on top of all that pressure and stress and fear and discomfort, there was death. Even during peacetime. I lost friends and I lost teammates. It goes with the personality profile, they would say. Risk takers. So even peace provided little peace. And then once the war started, it just escalated. Not just for me, not by any stretch whatsoever. Every military member has dealt with death in some way over the past 17 years of war. Some more than others. There have also been life-changing wounds, of which I was spared. I was lucky. But many others were not so lucky. Because the bombs and the bullets and the IEDs and the mortars and the rockets, they do not care who you are at all. But for whatever reason, I made it through. I was lucky. And now my life goes on. And maybe I'm a little more paranoid than the next person, and maybe I don't always sleep that well, and maybe there's times when some thought or some memory catches me off guard and I end up reliving a moment from the past that I wish I could change. And you might think, wouldn't I just want to change it all? Wouldn't I want to go back and erase all that pain and replace it with relief and replace it with ease and with comfort. And the answer to that question is no. In fact, it's not just no, it's hell no. Because wrapped up in that pain and wrapped up in that discomfort and wrapped up in that stress and anxiety, wrapped up in all that is the polar opposites of all those feelings. Inside all that turmoil, there was relief, there was certainty, there was happiness, there was focus and security, and there was peace. Peace of mind in knowing that no matter what horrors befell me, things would be okay. And that is because I knew that my brothers would take care of me no matter what. You see, my old job allowed me to work with some of the best guys in the world. Not all of them. You've heard me talk about that before. There's substandard people in every organization in the world. There's a bell curve. And the bottom of the bell curve is filled with the same deficient people you'll find anywhere. Lazy, scamming, irresponsible, self-centered, whatever. But at the high end of that bell curve, the guys I worked with were righteous and noble and hardworking, and it was humbling to be around them. Now, were they perfect? No. None of us are. Did they have flaws? Yes, absolutely. All of us fall short. But could I count on them? Could I count on them without question and without hesitation? 100%. Through all the horror and the fear and the pressure, there were always some guys that I knew without a shred of doubt would stand beside me and hold the line no matter what. They would never let me down. Ever. And as fate would have it, I'm lucky enough to have one of those few men that I knew I could always count on, no matter what, here with me tonight. He's done more for me and for the teams and for our great nation than the world is ever going to know. His name is Mike Sarraille. He's a former recon Marine, a very recently retired SEAL officer, and he's someone that's never let me down. So, Mike, welcome to the podcast, and thanks for coming on, brother.
Hey, Jocko, happy to be here in Echo. Thank you for having me.